Hey guys, welcome back to the BuzWeaver channel, and in a shocking opinion piece from MSNBC, it is a veiled and ambiguous desire for Trump's demise. And we're going to cover that here today in this article.
We start things off from MSNBC. The morbid plan to avoid Trump winning the GOP nomination. Many Republican leaders want a different nominee, but no one wants to do something about the former president. So you mean to suggest to me, MSNBC, that the GOP would not be able to select anyone other than Donald Trump? So you see what they're doing here. They're framing this in a way. First off, they are doing it in a veiled manner. In other words, this is their desire that they want this to happen to Donald Trump, not necessarily the Republicans. However, there are Republicans that are part of the establishment because, of course, at the end of the day, it is all one big club. They all work together to help each other out. But make no mistake, this is MSNBC and the legacy media working from a position that everyone is dumb and that they are the ones trying to express the fact that it's Republicans that want to see this demise of Donald Trump. But in reality, of course, it is them. So they really, really believe that people are this dumb. Donald Trump is an electoral disaster for the Republican Party. He cost the GOP control of the House of Representatives in 2018, lost the presidency in 2020, and contributed to the party's underperformance in the 2020 midterms. Now, of course, we've covered all of these areas. So this is just NBC's interpretation, because as we know, the GOP won the House of Representatives in 2022, much to the assistance of Donald Trump. Now, as far as the 2020 election, we've covered this extensively, and of course, part of that was the establishment working alongside the mainstream media and others, as Molly Ball outlines in her articles, the shadow campaign. They all worked together, even violating Pennsylvania's Constitution, to ensure that people got mail-in ballots and or absentee ballots to vote from home. And of course, COVID came along, which was just a lightning strike out of the sky that helped the Democrats to put fear into people and suggest that they all had to vote from home. So there was just a combination, a perfect storm that worked out for the Democrats in 2020. So this idea that Donald Trump was this major disaster at all these different levels is absolutely ridiculous. So how to stop Trump from wreaking havoc in 2024? Apparently, some desperate Republicans are simply hoping he dies before the election. Well, that's a possibility, but I can assure you that with all this going on with Donald Trump now, with these indictments and the last 6 years, to constantly put a negative image on him and to paint a dark cloud over him, and at this point right now, it should be very obvious that the current administration, at least the Establishment Uni-party, is pursuing Donald Trump, is politically persecuting a former president and current candidate for president in 2024. This should not be a mystery to anyone. I'm not exaggerating. Earlier this week, the Atlantic's McKay Coppens recounted multiple conversations with Republican officials who see no way to stop Trump from destroying the party in yet another electoral cycle. That is absolutely ridiculous. Donald Trump, as impressive as he is to people, as charismatic as he is, and capable as he is, still has to be nominated by the GOP. He can't simply nominate himself. So this idea that or at least MSNBC is trying to float is that the Republicans have no control over what's going to happen with Donald Trump. In other words, he's going to have to be selected. They have no one else they can select. It's just absolutely stupid. According to former Michigan Rep Peter Major, you have a lot of folks who are just wishing for Trump's mortal demise. Think about that, ladies and gentlemen. That MSNBC is writing this article. It's an opinion piece. And of course, they don't indicate that it's an opinion piece because, of course, again, this is all about being ambiguous and veiled about their desire for the demise of President Trump. It's absolutely despicable. I want to be clear. I'm not in that camp, but I've heard from a lot of people who will go on stage and put on the red hat and then give me a call the next day and say, I can't wait until this guy dies. So he's basically outlining a bunch of hypocrites. So a bunch of people who are part of the camp, who are there in their positions desiring as much as Democrats to maintain their power, so they go along to get along. So he just outlined the go along to get along, and Democrats do this also. This is why I call it the Establishment Uni-party, and this is why I say it's all one big club. Kopens noted that Mark Leibovich, which is actually is a Spanish name from Argentina, in his recent book, Thank You for Your Servitude, quotes a former Republican representative saying of Trump, "We're just waiting for him to die." Now, ladies and gentlemen, I'm almost at a loss for words to explain this to people as I try to outline. And sometimes I can come across as being a bit cynical my own self. However, it should be perfectly clear, as we have covered yesterday in our top story about the indictments on Trump, or this week or last week, the indictments on Trump, and how they're using that hopefully in a way to keep him from being able to rally and participate in any of the 2024 primaries. It's absolutely ridiculous. And now this very absurd article, thankfully I heard this from Styx Hexenhammer late tonight. So as of this recording, it is 12:54 a.m. in the morning. But I absolutely wanted to cover this for you guys because this is absolutely the pinnacle of what we talk about here on the channel as to how far these people are willing to go. So I ask you down in the comments, let me know, how far do you think the Establishment Uni-party is willing to go? And here we have from Yahoo Entertainment, you guys may remember this, Victor Bout, the merchant of death arms dealer exchanged for Brittany Griner, says he fears for Trump's life and urged him to flee to Russia. That's right. Arms dealer Victor Bout, nicknamed the Merchant of Death, is asking Trump to flee to Russia. He sent Trump a telegram warning him to escape charges in New York and that his life is in peril. Bout said Trump would find safe haven in Russia where he could rebel against globalists. Interesting. Notorious Russian arms dealer Victor Bout said he wired a telegram on April 7th to former President Donald Trump that warned him that his life is in peril and urged him to move to Russia for protection. Now, I don't necessarily feel that Donald Trump would have to move to Russia, but this was the direction everyone was thinking. And even before April, is how far is the Establishment Uni-party willing to go? Because they indicted a former president. They indicted an individual who is running for presidency in 2024. This is absolutely sickening. This should give the American people a lack of confidence in our current administration, a lack of confidence in our justice system, Department of Justice, when this is allowed to happen. It is absolutely reprehensible. And as we can see here, this article from MSNBC, of course, right here, it does say opinion. So at least they made that effort. But how many people are going to see that unless they look for it or someone like myself points it out? So this was an opinion piece, so they had to leave it right there. But make no mistake, ladies and gentlemen, this is what the Establishment Uni-party Trump detractors are desiring, the demise of Donald Trump, because they are doing everything they can right now to stop Donald Trump. And it looks like he is continuing to be successful despite the absurdity of these indictments as his poll ratings continue to go up. So I would like to know what you think down in the comments section. How far do you think the Establishment Uni-party is willing to go when the media is coming out in a veiled, ambiguous outline opinion piece desiring harm to the former presidents? Absolutely despicable. Thank you guys for your continued support here on YouTube as well as on New Tech. And appearing there on the screen, that would be the channel icon for those watching on YouTube. You guys can click on that to subscribe as well as to select notifications so you know when there's content here on the channel. And I'll see all you guys in the next video.